Hi, my name is Bimal. Today, I have a video that will blow your mind. You have probably heard this line before. All disease begins in the gut. It was Hippocrates, more than 2000 years ago. For centuries, scientists brushed it off. Too simplistic, too ancient. Surely, disease begins in the brain or the heart or the lungs, not the gut. But here is the twist. Modern science says Hippocrates was wrong, but also he wasn't. Not every disease begins in the gut, but nearly every disease touches it. So today, let's test this claim. We will walk through the top 10 diseases that kill or disable the most people in the world. Heart disease, diabetes, cancer, dementia, Parkinson's, depression, multiple sclerosis, liver disease, kidney disease, and even lung disease. And we will ask, does the gut really touch every one of them? Spoiler for you, by the end, you might never look at your gut the same way again. The number one killer worldwide, cardiovascular disease. Now, we all know the usual suspects: cholesterol, blood pressure, smoking. But your gut, it sounds like a stretch until you learn this. Gut bacteria convert nutrients from red meat and eggs into chemical called TMAO. TMAO stands for trimethylamine N oxide. It is a chemical compound produced by gut bacteria when they break down certain nutrients such as choline, phosphatidylcholine, and carnitine. Higher TMAO in your blood means higher risk of heart attack and stroke. On the flip side, fiber-loving bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate that reduce inflammation and protect blood vessels. So your risk of heart disease isn't just about what flows through your arteries. It's about what flows from your gut. But if gut bacteria can shape your heart risk, what about the global epidemic of obesity and diabetes? Here is a puzzle. Two people eat the same food. One's blood sugar skyrockets, the other stays stable. A landmark study revealed the answer. It wasn't just genetics, it was the microbiome. Certain gut bacteria regulate insulin sensitivity, others encourage fat storage. And in lab experiments, when gut microbes from obese humans were transplanted into lean mice, the mice gained weight without changing diet. That means your gut microbiome is like a hidden conductor of metabolism. But metabolism isn't the only place the gut leaves fingerprints. Could it even play a role in something as terrifying as cancer? Cancer seems like the farthest distance from digestion. But take colorectal cancer, the second deadliest cancer worldwide. Researchers discovered Fusobacterium nucleatum hiding inside tumors, helping them grow and evade the immune system. But what is Fusobacterium nucleatum? It is a bacterium found in the oral cavity that is enriched in colorectal cancer CRC tissues and is associated with a poor prognosis and increased tumor growth. It promotes colorectal cancer progression by altering the immune environment, fostering a pro-inflammatory state, interacting with other bacteria, and interfering with the genetic and epigenetic landscape of the tumor. And a specific subtype, FNAC2, is particularly linked to tumor growth and appears better adapted for the lower gastrointestinal tract. And here is the jaw dropper. Your microbiome can influence whether cancer treatments work. Patients with a diverse, healthy gut respond better to immunotherapy. Those who take antibiotics that wipe out gut microbes often do worse. So your gut doesn't just affect cancer risk, it can decide how well you fight cancer. If the gut can change something as powerful as cancer treatment, what about your brain, your memories, your identity? Alzheimer's disease devastates families. For decades, it seemed like a mystery locked inside the brain. But in the last decade, gut research has cracked open new clues. Alzheimer's patients often show disrupted microbiomes, fewer anti-inflammatory bacteria, more pro-inflammatory ones. Those microbial byproducts enter the bloodstream, cross into the brain, and fuel neuroinflammation. Meanwhile, fiber fermentation in the gut produces molecules that may protect the brain. Could caring for your gut today be protecting your memory tomorrow? And if Alzheimer's is linked, wait until you hear about Parkinson's, a disease that may actually start in the gut. Here is the eerie part. Constipation often shows up 20 years before Parkinson's tremors. Some researchers believe that the disease may begin in the gut. Misfolded alpha-synuclein proteins appear in gut nerves and then travel off the vagus nerve into the brain. Parkinson's patients also have strikingly different gut microbiome compared to the healthy people. In animal models, shifting the microbiome can worsen or ease motor symptoms. So the gut may not just touch Parkinson's, it might be where it begins. But Parkinson's isn't the only invisible condition. What about this silent epidemic of depression and anxiety? Here is something most people don't know. 95% of serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitter in your body, is made in your gut. In studies, people with depression show disrupted microbiome. And when gut bacteria from depressed humans are transplanted into mice, the mice develop depression-like behaviors. On the flip side, prebiotics and probiotics are being tested as supportive therapies for the mood disorder. So your gut isn't just about digesting food, it's shaping your mental health. And if mood is shaped by the gut, what about autoimmune diseases like multiple sclerosis, where the immune system attacks the brain itself? Multiple sclerosis, or MS, happens when the immune system attacks the nervous system. And where does the immune system train? In the gut. Researchers find that certain gut bacteria in MS patients can worsen immune overactivity, while others seem protective. This is so promising that probiotic trials are already underway for MS patients. Imagine live bacteria as part of the therapy for a brain disease. But autoimmunity doesn't just affect the brain. What happens when the gut connects directly to another organ, like your liver? Your gut and liver are directly connected through the portal vein. When the gut barrier weakens, bacterial toxins flow straight to the liver. That constant exposure drives fatty liver disease and cirrhosis. It's called the gut-liver axis. In short, if your gut leaks, your liver suffers. And if your liver is this tied to your gut, wait until you see the kidney connection. The kidneys filter the blood, but when gut bacteria produce toxins like indole sulfate, damaged kidneys can't clear them. These toxins then worsen kidney function. It's a vicious cycle. Bad gut accelerates kidney disease, and kidney disease worsens gut health. So even if your kidneys are connected, could your lungs, the very organ you breathe with, be linked too? It sounds far-fetched, but the gut-lung axis is real. Asthma, COPD, even respiratory infections like COVID-19 shows worse outcomes in people with disrupted gut microbiomes. And gut metabolites like butyrate can calm lung inflammation. Even your breath carries echoes of your gut. So was Hippocrates wrong or just 2000 years ahead of his time? So let's come back to the ancient line. All disease begins in the gut. He overstated it. But the science is clear. The gut touches nearly every disease we fear most. And here is the empowering part. The gut is one of the few levers you can pull every day. Food, movement, stress, sleep, all shape your microbiome, all shape your risk. At Gutsphere, that's our mission, to make gut care accessible, affordable, and actionable. So here is my question for you. Which of these diseases runs in your family? And what one gut-friendly action can you start today to shift your future? Because when you protect your gut, you are not just preventing indigestion. You are touching every system, every disease, and every possibility of your health.